July 21st, 9:21 a.m. District Court, Defendant, Lobby number 3. Good morning, Mr. Wright. Good morning. Chipper as ever this morning, I see. I'm just thankful we actually get to have a trial for Orla. As a matter of fact, I just ran a few laps around the courthouse to get extra pumped. And I just splashed my face with some water to get the sleep out of my eyes. Oh, I also queued the swashbuckler video so we can watch it anytime. Thanks. It just might help our case. Okay. Interesting. By the way, you have some serious dark circles. Did you stay up late watching this? What? Me? No, I just woke up early, that's all. Guess I need to cover them up. I get ragged on enough as it is by Prosecutor Blackwell. Speaking of being pumped, I'm pretty fired up for this trial, too. It's been a while. Hehe, that explains why your hair is spikkier than usual. I mean, look at it. It's all super pokey and prickly and stuff. It's amazing. That was a compliment, right? Good luck, Mr. Dick. I'll be cheering you on from the gallery. Thanks, bros. It's been so long, I'm actually a little nervous. Good morning, Mr. Lawyer. Oh, Mr. Rhymes, you came to watch the trial? Yeah, Sansa is back at the aquarium with the Orca. So I thought I'd better come here to watch for her. Well, don't you worry, we're going to win for Orla. Isn't that right, boss? Right. One unprecedented trial coming right up. Yeah. July 21st, 9:30 a.m. District Court, courtroom number 4.
Court is now in session for the trial of Orla Shipley.
The defense is ready, Your Honor. Must we waste words on this? Prosecutor Simon Blackwell, known as the Twisted Samurai. He's a prosecutor who's also a convicted felon. They say he never conducts a trial without his loyal hawk Taka by his side.
Mr. Wright, it's been quite a while since I've seen you like that. The lower image suits you. You look younger somehow.
Thank you, Your Honor. You look as young as ever yourself.
Ha ha ha. Well, I have to keep up with you folks after all. By the way, has the defendant arrived in court yet?
Surely you jest, Your Boldness. Did you not receive the memo? The defendant, Orla Shipley, is an Orca at Shipshape Aquarium.
An Orca? Arrangements for this trial were made only yesterday, so I didn't have time to review. But an Orca as a defendant is blatantly absurd.
Direct your comments to the defense. He's the absurd fellow who insists on defending the Orca in court in the first place. Absurd or not, I will carry out my duty to defend my client.
Your duty to defend your crying aunt? Don't you mean your crying Orca, Mr. Wright?
If we are to proceed, we must treat the Orca as we would any other defendant. Every soul, be it of man or beast, is of equal value. The question is whether that soul is painted in black and white or white. Take Taka, for example. He is as human in spirit as you or I. The real question is, am I in for more pain, as always?
Orca not, I suppose the defendant is still a defendant. And I vow to render my verdict fairly and impartially. Ahem. Now then, Prosecutor Blackwell, your opening statement, if you would.
I suppose I can hardly leave it to someone who knew nothing of the defendant. Very well, listen carefully. The Orca murdered the owner of Shipshape Aquarium, the aquarium's Orca pool. The Orca apparently toyed with the victim mercilessly as he died.
A sadist Orca, a sadistic Orca. What a chilling thought. Where exactly is the defendant now?
Inside this.
A cell phone, Prosecutor Blackwell?
Time marches on, Your Boldness, with or without us. I borrowed this TV phone from the aquarium, which will allow us to interact with the Orca.
A TV phone? Very well. The court accepts it into evidence. How did they manage to fit an entire Orca inside this phone?
We will be able to view the defendant in question on this large monitor. Fulbright, prepare for transmission.
Ha ha ha! You've got it, Prosecutor Blackwell.
We will proceed with the defendant on telecast.
So that is the Orca that stands accused, is it?
Aw, she's waving her flipper at us. Maybe she's cheering us on? Orla, wish Phoenix and Athena luck.
Oh, it's quite cute, isn't it? And this adorable creature is suspected of killing a man.
Orla's really pouring on the charm, eh? She is far from cute. She is a violent, reckless animal.
That's right. The name's Bobby Fulbright, and I'll take over the explaining from here. Now, if I could direct your attention to this diagram of the crime scene. Following the report of an Orca attack, we, the police, raced on over to the ship-shape aquarium. There, we found a guest who says she saw the Orca and the victim from the visitor's corridor. As the witness was watching, the Orca suddenly went crazy and attacked the victim. The Orca was the only one there, therefore no one else could have committed the crime. It's not quite finished, but I have a portion of the autopsy report here. Can't imagine the terror of being attacked underwater by such a large creature.
But attack it did. Prepare yourself for the grisly details, Your Boldness. The prosecution moves to introduce our witness. Fulbright?
You got it, Prosecutor Blackwell. In justice we trust. One brave lady whose fine sense of justice compels her to speak. Coming right up. How dare you make me wait? Don't you know I'm a busy woman? I could have written an entire book for all the time I spent in that lobby. Prosecutor Blackwell?
Well?
I am Norma DePlume, and I am a non-fiction writer.
I'm the only one who isn't telepathic here. Looks like she can read into people's words just as well as I can read into people's hearts. Not everything needs to be a competition, Athena.
What? Norma DePlume? The great non-fiction writer, Miss Norma DePlume herself? I've read all of your works and enjoyed them immensely. Your million seller, The Great Grief of the Great Thief, is one of my favorites. Are you a fan, Your Honor? I could give you my autograph if you'd like. Wait a second. I could swear you looked much different in the photos in your book. Well, I'll use ones from 10 years ago in my book so that the paparazzi won't harass me.
The judge seems so shocked. The visual disconnect must really be doing a number on His Honor's head.
Could you get started, please? If I find you to be lacking as a judge, you will see your debut in my books. Such harsh comments! You really must be the real Norma DePlume.
Who knew Mr. Plume was so famous? Enough jabbering. Tell the court what you saw and keep it brief.
I would thank you not to order me around. I am perfectly willing to tell everyone what I witnessed. It was the moment of the murder. Very well then, please proceed with your testimony. I went to Shipshape Aquarium to see the killer whale. As I was watching the killer whale from the visitor's corridor, it suddenly went crazy. I saw the killer whale bite the victim to death with its huge mouth and deadly teeth. Attempting to remain calm, I reported the incident to the police immediately. That adorable defendant really did all that? It must be much more vicious than it looks.
Now, deliver your judgment so I may carry out the sentence.
Objection!
The defense would like to do some defending first, if that's alright. Huh. Must you drag this out with your tomfoolery? The defense always has the right to cross-examine the witness, you know. A fellow inmate told me just this morning, if you want something signed, all you need is a document and a witness. Let me guess. They were convicted for contract fraud, right? All we need in this case is the evidence and a witness to convict. It's as simple as that. Looks like I guessed right. Sorry, but as Miss Sykes said, the defense has every right to cross-examine. Isn't that correct, Your Honor?
Yes, of course. You may proceed with your cross-examination, Mr. Wright.
I shall relish the sight of you thrashing around in vain. So I'm thinking that what she saw is true, but the victim was already dead. I think the Orca, Orla, wanted to play with the captain, but when she saw that he wasn't responding to her, she got upset and she started thrashing him around. Yeah, that's what I think.
I went to Shipshape Aquarium to see the killer whale.
Hold it!
Why did you want to see the Orca?
Well, it is the featured attraction of the aquarium, after all.
Why waste energy on such tripe? There is but one attraction in Shape Aquarium that is worth anyone's time, and that is the penguins. Isn't that right, Taka, my friend? Alright then. I guess Prosecutor Blackwell is for the birds. Guess I should jot that down. Note to self: Prosecutor Blackwell is on Team Rifle.
And so you went to see the Orca in his tank?
Yes, that's right.
As I was watching the killer whale from the visitor's corridor, it suddenly went crazy.
Hold it!
Define crazy. The Orca suddenly went crazy, did she?
Yes, it took a look at me and then, all at once, it started going berserk.
Did you do anything to make her angry?
I did nothing more than simply glare at it from the visitor's corridor.
She glared at Orla, and that's what caused her to go berserk?
Objection!
The reason the defendant went mad is not the issue here, only what she did when she entered that state.
In any case, the killer whale began behaving wildly in front of my very eyes, and then I saw the killer whale bite the victim to death with his huge mouth and deadly teeth.
Hold it!
So you're saying you saw the very moment of the victim's death?
That is exactly what I'm saying. Oh, it was simply dreadful. It was as frightening as losing one's manuscript just before a deadline.
I suppose for a writer that would be pretty terrifying.
I witnessed the killer whale's horrific act, and I knew I had to do something, so attempting to remain calm, I reported the incident to the police immediately.
Hold it!
Why were the police the first ones you contacted?
I was afraid if I told the aquarium staff, they might try to cover it up. Of course, I immediately told aquarium security after my call to the police. I believe I deserve praise for my swift decision-making skills under pressure.
Mr. Plume is the most assertive witness I've ever seen. We'd better do our best to look like big shot lawyers if you want to match her intensity. Mr. Plume, I praise your swift decision-making skills under pressure.
There's more kiss-up than big shot. I suppose it was unrealistic to expect big shot from Mr. Wright.
How fitting for a small fry to praise a big shot.
How about cutting the small fry some slack, you big meanies?
The important thing here is, did she really see the moment of the murder? You're ready to go, aren't you, Mr. Wright? I see it in your eyes. And in your heart. I guess I really am a lawyer at heart. What?
Objection!
Okay. It would seem that you are mistaken, Mr. Plume. I beg your pardon. The autopsy report does indeed say death thought to be the result of Orca attack. But the actual cause of death is contusion from head trauma, not being bitten. What? But I'm sure the victim was bitten. I don't believe that can be true. The security footage doesn't show anything of the kind.
Objection!
Just as I suspected. I knew you would peek at the footage behind Fulbright's back. Well, what did you expect when he wouldn't play nice and share? But unfortunately for you, the footage you saw is only one small part. Huh? Yesterday, after I decided to take this case to trial, I re-reviewed all of the evidence. Taka, the evidence I gave to you for safekeeping. Guess that hawk is higher up on the pecking order than Fulbright in Blackwell's book.
Very well, let's view the footage. What's this? The Orca is biting the victim!
No way! It's all post-mortem. Post-mortem wounds.
I have to say that this appears to be very damning evidence.
No, I can't believe Orla really bit him. And there is more. Look at this! This photograph was taken while the body was being examined.
There seems to be a strange bruise on the victim's right wrist.
I'll have the crime lab examine the bruise and calculate its relevance to the case at hand. What's important right now is evidence that points to the Orca as the killer. Look at the left side of the body. See the Orca's tooth marks in the victim's clothes?
Yes, they do appear to suggest that she did in fact bite the victim.
I told you so. And then the killer whale swam up toward the surface with the victim in its mouth.
Objection!
However, in the autopsy report, the cause of death is contusion from head trauma.
Objection!
You are much too impetuous right there now. Granted, the Orca biting the victim was not the cause of death. The witness was mistaken about that.
What explanation is there for what the witness saw?
Did I not say in the beginning? The Orca toyed with the victim mercilessly.
Oh my goodness!
After killing the victim, the defendant swam around with his dead body in her mouth. Just like any other predator toying with its prey. Nerg. Mr. Wright? Hearts of the people in the gallery are suddenly filled with fear. Fear of Orla.
So, the defendant bit the victim after she had killed him. But if that's the case, then we must still figure out how the defendant killed the victim. Prosecutor Blackwell, do you have a sound theory to give to this court?
I wouldn't be standing here if I couldn't prove whether the Orca's heart was black or white. But Orla is black and white. Her body, I mean. Athena, please try not to provoke Prosecutor Blackwell. This witness also observed the actual moment of the murder. Think back, word mistress. Think back to what you observed before the Orca bit the victim.
Oh, I see what you're driving at. So, that was the true moment of the murder, was it?
Now explain it in a way that even these simpletons can understand. Alright. I'll be back. Alright. We're gonna hear from Mr. Plume, the actual, real, for realsies, no take-backsies, the actual, legitimate moment of death. There you go again, ordering me around. Stop that this instant. But whatever.
I don't mind telling my story. I saw the killer whale before it toyed with the body as well. I saw it the moment it killed the victim by headbutting him.
Right, headbutting him. Orla killed the victim by headbutting him?
That's right. It rammed the victim over and over again.
Recall that the autopsy report stated that there were bruises all over his body. Recall as well how persistent the defendant can be when she's attacking her prey.
We all just saw the killer whale headbutting the victim in the footage, don't forget.
That footage backs up Mr. Plume's testimony. There's also something very important it does not show.
Now do you see what a menace this killer whale is?
Objection!
I'm sorry, but I can't allow your testimony to stand unchallenged. Looking at this footage, the Orca certainly seems to be headbutting something. But you'll know that the something is not the victim.
Oh, what?
I want to look away, but
I can't.
even if it was the victim, you couldn't have seen him from where you were, could you?
What? I suppose not.
Mr. Plume, did you actually witness the victim getting headbutted by the defendant?
Oh, let's see. Oh, I remember now. As I recall, a rock in the shape of a skull was obstructing my view. So, are you admitting that you couldn't see the victim? Yes, I suppose I am. However, immediately after the headbutting, the victim came floating up. He came up from behind the skull-shaped rock and his body was all limp. What else could I think except that the killer whale was headbutting the victim?
Objection!
But if you didn't actually see the moment of the attack itself, then it's pure conjecture.
Objection!
Sigh, must I do everything around here? How dare you speak so rudely to me? There's no need for hysterics. Clear your mind and recall how you reached your conclusion. Though you couldn't see what the Orca was attacking, you didn't need to, did you? Because you knew she was behaving exactly as she had only 1 year prior.
Oh.
1 year ago.
That's right. Yes, that's it. That's how I knew the killer whale was headbutting the victim.
I'm sorry, but could someone explain exactly what happened a year ago? If you must know, a very similar incident occurred only last year, in which the defendant murdered her trainer.
What? The Orca murdered her trainer, you say?
What? Is this really true? This is not looking good for us.
It's all in this book. That book? The Killer Whale? That's Mr. Plume's latest work. I was just thinking of picking that up.
So, a writer that makes her profits off killer whales. Surely there's no bias here. Last year, the defendant killed her trainer in the middle of a show. The Orca headbutted and bit the victim. The same thing she's accused of in this case.
That Orca killed 2 people? I think I'm guilty, I say.
I never go back to the again.
No, now everyone's even more convinced that Orla did it. We were doing so well, but now everyone in the room has a bad impression of Orla. I don't want to think she did it, but it's hard to keep on believing in somebody who can't even tell me her side.
First, Athena, you gotta believe in Orla. There's no way she killed anybody. You gotta save her. Please, I'm begging ya.
Sasha, what am I doing doubting my client like this? This is the time to be strong. I believe in Orla, and I'm ready to fight for our clients. I'll take everybody in this courtroom on if I have to. Don't you worry, Sasha. We won't give up on Orla. We'll defend her to the very end.
Thank you, both of you.
We are Orla's lawyers. Who else but us can save her? We can't give up on her now.
For an instant there, you were afraid of the Orca, weren't you, right, Dana? When you saw the photograph of the victim from a year ago, you turned paler than me.
He saw right through me.
It's obvious you have neither the guts nor the determination to defend the Orca.
It's true that Orla can't speak, and I don't know her thoughts. But there's a certain someone who believes in Orla with all her heart. I respect the trust she has in Orla, so I am willing to believe in Orla too.
And what do you know about orcas? Nothing, that's what. So, allow me to fill you in. Do you have an idea why orcas are also called killer whales? Because they are cunning and merciless predators that hunt and kill even true whales.
So, killer whales really are killers. What terrifying creatures indeed.
I can't bear to hear any more of such rubbish as trusting a killer, can you, your boldness?
No matter what you say, I will continue to believe. I don't give up that easily, you know.
Darn it. You don't know when to give up, do you? Very well, I shall give you a chance to prove just how determined you are. Witness, spare no quarter and lay the full truth on them.
Oh, but of course. That is what I do, after all. Prosecutor Blackwell, what will we have the witness testify about?
I shall have her testify about what she saw and what she heard.
What she heard?
Very well, Mr. Bloom, please tell the court what you saw and what you heard.
Hey, what do you hear? What do you say?
The killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. I was calm when I saw it start to headbutt. But when the pirate hat and the victim came floating up, I let her scream. So the orca displayed the same behavior as during the incident a year ago. That's right. Those weren't just simple cries. It was singing. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. It kept headbutting while it sang the swashbuckler spectacular song. That's right, it was singing the same song it sang in the aquarium stage show back then. It was singing while it was headbutting. Oh, it was perfectly horrible.
I don't see a single obvious inconsistency in this testimony. It's clear I won't be able to take apart her statements with evidence alone. That's all we have on that? Interesting. Mr. Wright, now would be a good time for me to put my skills to work. It's time to show what analytical psychology can really do. You seem pretty confident. Let me guess, you notice a contradiction between the testimony and her emotions? You bet I did, and once we expose it, we just might be able to crack her. No, scratch that. Make it, we'll definitely be able to. Now let's give your knowledge of analytical psychology a try. You've got it, boss. A complete analysis of Mr. Plume's heart coming right up. Here we go. Killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, killer whale suddenly started singing. I was cool when I saw it start to headbutt. But when the pirate hat and the victim came floating up, I let out a scream. When we view your emotions alongside your testimony, we find the unexpected emotion... Wait a minute. There really isn't anything strange here. I don't know, but I think maybe we made a mistake, Mr. Wright. I think maybe you're right. Let's take another look. There must be an unexpected emotion here somewhere. She says that she was calm, but she's both surprised and sad. Okay, I guess surprised is normal. How about sad? Really? They both should have worked. Mr. Plume, Orla really frightened you with her headbutting, didn't she?
Don't be absurd. I certainly was not frightened by the likes of any killer whale.
Must have been something else that scared her then, boss.
However, I do remember being very afraid for some reason while I was doing that.
Sounds like maybe you saw something we haven't discussed yet. Take your time and try to remember what it was. What did you see? This is practically turning into a counseling session.
I saw something. Oh, I remember now.
Okay, good. Now, if you could please tell the court what you saw.
I saw bright red blood. The killer whale's ramming caused the victim to bleed. There was a great cloud of blood.
What?
Yes, I see it. That's why I was so sure. That's when I knew that the killer whale had killed the person for a second time. Well, that was a very compelling statement indeed. Looking at this again, there does appear to be something that could be a cloud of blood.
So her terror was a reaction to blood, was it? That would certainly explain what happened yesterday. Please take a look at this blood-stained coin.
Eek! Cease and desist at once! What kind of a man shows a lady blood?
She doesn't have to get so worked up.
I was badly injured during an interview once. Ever since then, I've been terrified of blood. The very sight of it dreadfully upsets my delicate sensibilities.
This is a bad turn. If Mr. Bloom saw blood, then does that mean Orla really did attack the victim? It would appear that Orcas are even more vicious than I am. So, how does it feel to be thoroughly rammed by your own cross-examination, right, Donna? What do we do now, boss? That testimony was not at all what I expected to hear. Wait a minute. There's still some discord left in Mr. Bloom's heart. What? You mean there's more? Yes, but there's no telling what it is. It could be something even more damaging. Is there even anything left of our case to damage? Well, whatever it is, we have to face it head on. Athena, you believe in Orla, right? If so, there's no reason for us to shy away from the truth. Yeah, you're right. I know you can handle the truth, whatever it is. So let's delve a little deeper. You've got it, boss. Here we go.
Killer whale's behavior was exactly the same as a year ago. As I approached the pool, the killer whale suddenly started singing. After it started headbutting, I saw that awful blood and was terrified. But when the pirate hat and victim came floating up, I let out a scream.
Again? Okay. Huh? Her fear appears to lessen here at this statement. Mr. Bloom, weren't you afraid when you saw the victim with blood coming out of him?
My, that's a very good question. I was shaking after witnessing a murder, yes, but then the blood seemed to disappear.
Disappear? And why do you suppose that was?
Simple! It was because of the pirate hat. After the killer whale put the hat on, the cloud of blood disappeared.
Objection!
And how exactly does that work? How should I know? I'm just telling you what I remember, Blue Boy.
Wait a minute. From whom was this blood that Mr. Plume saw actually coming from? Dun dun. Dun dun. Dun dun dun.
Take that!
Consider this. Maybe the one who was bleeding wasn't the victim.
I beg your pardon? What kind of ridiculous nonsense is that?
There was no one else in that pool besides the victim. Oh, I wouldn't say there was no one else. It is an Orca pool, after all.
What? Then where is this alleged injury on the defendant?
I'm not sure, but if simply wearing the pirate hat made the blood disappear, then the blood must have been coming from somewhere on Orla's head.
What? The Orca's head? What are you prattling on about now?
Please think about it again, Mr. Plume. Think back to what you really saw.
That is... The one who is bleeding was not the victim, but the killer whale. I remember now. There wasn't any blood coming from the victim after all.
We did it! Analytical psychology got us what we needed from her. That was a huge help, Athena. It was also pretty dicey for a while, though.
Well, this is a surprise. The blood the witness saw was the defendant's, not the victim's.
That is correct. And since there was no blood coming from the victim, there is only one thing we can conclude. That what Mr. Plume witnessed was not the moment of the murder as she claims.
Objection!
I thought you were unarmed, but it turns out you were concealing a sword all along. Nevertheless, it is far too dull to cut to the bone.
Meaning?
I grant that what the witness saw was not the victim's blood, but it proves nothing. After all, being rammed doesn't always result in a wound that bleeds, does it? Death from internal hemorrhaging is also a possibility. Oh, here's a point there. If you wish to challenge me to a duel, you'd need a sharper blade than that, right, Dodo? I demand evidence that proves the witness did not see the moment of the murder.
There must be something. Think, Phoenix. If I'm correct, then the victim's death occurred... If the victim's already dead when Orla started her headbutting, then that would mean he died sometime before Mr. Plume was watching her. The events Mr. Plume witnessed took place at around 10:10 a.m. I must have something that can tell us about what happened before 10:10 a.m. Is it? I feel like it's too early to. I feel like it's too early to use the coin. So the calendar. It's out of the calendar. Okay, let's try the calendar.
Take that!
This is the evidence that proves Mr. Plume did not see the moment of the murder. I'm not sure that's really related to what Mr. Plume did or didn't witness. But you're not sure, right?
No, we can be quite sure it's unrelated.
Yes, quite.
Ouch! I guess we can be. The events Mr. Plume witnessed took place at around 10:10. Must have something that can tell us about what happened before 10:10 a.m. Okay, the coin, I guess.
Take that!
This is... what? What else is there? Must have something that could tell us about what happened before 1010. I already presented the calendar and that didn't work. So... I'm a little confused here. The performance... I already presented the calendar, that didn't work. Walkie-talkie? Fish? Security footage? Security footage wouldn't work because we're trying to present something that proves that something happened before she witnessed the events. So, what else? What else is there? Yeah, I don't know. I'm gonna have to look this up, I guess. Hold on. I'll be right back. What? Alright, so... apparently it is the security footage? Alright.
Take that!
We've only seen the footage from 10:09 to 10:10. Which means there's still footage going further back that we need to check. Oh, fuck off. Your Honor, I request that all of the security footage be played for the court.
All of the footage?
Mr. Plume witnessed a cloud of blood at around 10:10 a.m. But I believe the victim was already dead by that time.
So your assertion is the murder took place before Mr. Bloom arrived?
Exactly. The security camera footage starts at 10 o'clock a.m. when the aquarium opened. And I believe there's vital evidence in the 10 minutes before. Huh. You are quite the gambling man, right, Durno? No one ever thought to check 10 minutes prior. Are you honestly willing to risk everything on these mere 10 minutes? I've bet on slimmer chances before, but when he puts it that way... My boss is no coward, Prosecutor Blackwell, so I suggest you get ready to eat humble pie. Uh-oh, I can't back down now.
Well, if the defense is not confident in its importance, Prosecutor Blackwell, the security footage.
Fulbright.
Roger, I have the rest of the security footage right here. Very well, please play it for the court.
Please, please have something for me.
This is what it looked like at 10:10 a.m. The witness can be seen here. Alright, I'll just back the footage up to the beginning now. It appears Mr. Bloom hasn't arrived yet at this point.
Now to see if I can find something from before this point in time. So, how about that weather, eh?
Is that it? Yep, that's all the footage there is. Well, Mr. Wright, did you see what you were looking for?
You got nothing. Huh. Well, alright, Dunno. Those were the 10 minutes you placed your bet on. Did you see anything of significance? Did I see anything important? I better think about this carefully. In the footage, we see nothing of importance.
Just as I thought.
You right about that? That section was completely meaningless. It doesn't show a thing. That's why I didn't submit it as evidence.
Objection!
No, it's just the opposite.
Oh, what do you mean by that?
In this 10 minutes of footage, something important that should be here isn't there. Dr. Fulbright, this footage should have been submitted as evidence.
What? Are you questioning the way I carry out my duty to justice? Mr. Wright, explain yourself, please. What is this important thing that you say should be in the footage but isn't?
Dun dun. The body, I guess. I guess the body was stuffed inside the skull? With all the gold coins?
Take that!
Is that what happened here? The important thing we should see in the footage is the victim himself, Jack Shipley. I don't know about you, but I didn't see him get in the pool in that footage.
Oh! Oh, that is right.
If the victim is not shown entering the pool in this footage, it means that he must have been there by the skull rock during those 10 minutes. But no human being can hold their breath underwater for that long.
Wait a minute. Are you saying?
He is a mermaid. When the security camera started up at 10 a.m., the victim was already dead.
What? Order in the court. If that's the case, then when was the victim murdered?
I don't know, Your Honor, but we know now that it had to have been sometime before 10 a.m. Therefore, this footage can no longer be called decisive evidence against my client.
But there's no one else who could have killed the victim.
Not necessarily. The defense believes that the true culprit may have been human. And we have evidence to back up our theory as well.
Do you now? I would be very interested in seeing this evidence.
The defense's trump card. That thing we found during our investigation yesterday. I wouldn't go so far as to call it decisive, but now's the time to play it.
Very well, Mr. Wright. Please submit your evidence. What evidence shows that the crime may have been committed by a human?
Take that!
What's this? A coin?
Yes, a fake coin used in the aquarium's pirate show. We found it beside the pool. This coin is quite possibly the real murder weapon.
This tiny little coin is the murder weapon? Mr. Wright, if this is another one of your bluffs...
As I say, the bolder the presentation, the less confident the solicitor.
This is no bluff, and this isn't the only coin. There are 300 of these coins in all, weighing a total of about 7 pounds. This one just happens to have blood on it.
Did you have the blood analyzed to see whose it is?
Not yet. But there were coins scattered all around the body, and the victim had a head wound. Taking these things into account, I believe it has to be the victim's blood. So to put it together, we have about 7 pounds of coins by the side of the pool, one of them with a blood stain on it. I think the answer is pretty clear here. Your Honor, the defense proposes that the victim was killed beside the pool.
The side of the pool? If the murder took place there, it would be difficult to say the Orca did it. I realize you are trying to defend your client, but that theory is preposterous. How could 300 coins simply be made to hit someone all at once?
It'd be pretty easy if they were in a bag or something of that nature.
And so where's this bag the coins were in?
Unfortunately, Your Honor, we recovered nothing of the sort from the scene. It's possible the culprit took it with them.
They took it?
The true culprit used the coins as a blunt instrument to commit murder. They then threw the body into the pool before the security cameras started up, and then they left, taking the bag the coins were in with them. They got rid of the evidence that points to a human culprit to pin the blame on Orla.
That
was brilliant, Mr. Wright. You found a way to introduce the possibility of a human perpetrator. Yeah, somehow... Oh, yeah, somehow. Let's hope my luck holds out. I wonder why Prosecutor Blackwell hasn't said anything.
The possibility of a perpetrator other than the defendant has now been suggested. But if we hold this possibility to be true, then what did Mr. Bloom witness?
That's right. I saw the killer whale attack the victim, just like it did a year ago, singing a song. I guess there still is that. Even with somebody else as the culprit, Orla's behavior still seems pretty bizarre. I wonder why she was doing the same things she did a year ago. But is it really that bizarre? What do you mean? To explain the inexplicable, all we have to do is turn our thinking around. Turn our thinking around, huh? Sounds good to me. Time to give the old turn my thinking around method a try. Instead of trying to figure out why Orla did the same things she did a year ago, I should consider the results that were produced by her behavior this time around. Orla sang a song, did some headbutts, and bit the victim. If the real culprit wanted to shift the suspicion onto Orla, then they would have needed to give people a reason to think Orla did it in the first place.
Mr. Wright, as our lawyer, how do you explain your client's actions?
I believe we should think of it in this way, Your Honor. What kind of effect did Orla's actions have on the case?
Very well, then why don't you explain it for the court? How did the defendant's actions affect the case?
Sure. I guess this one makes a little bit sense. Mr. Bloom focused her attention on the Orca pool because she heard the song. The Orca's act of singing a song created a witness.
Created a witness?
Isn't it possible that fabricating a witness was the real culprit's true intention? After all, Mr. Plume witnessed two things. She saw Orla headbutt something over and over, and she saw the Orca bite the victim. Those two actions of Orla's might have been the real culprit's plot to make the witness think the Orca was attacking the victim.
Are you saying the defendant was being manipulated by the true perpetrator?
Exactly, and that would explain Orla's actions perfectly.
But the defendant is an Orca. Is it even possible to manipulate her?
Yes, there is a way to manipulate Orla's behavior. With this.
Is this a whistle?
Yes, Your Honor. Trainers at the aquarium use whistles to issue commands to Orla. But in truth, anyone can do it, provided they know the right signals.
Ah, that must be how they get Orla to do tricks for their pirate shows.
The true culprit hit the body in a spot that couldn't be seen from the visitor's corridor. Then, when Mr. Plume appeared, they gave Orla the commands. In other words, Orla was manipulated by the culprit to perform a series of tricks.
What?
And as for you, Mr. Plume, you were manipulated by the true culprit to play the part of the witness.
No, but the Plume was set up. No, but the Plume, writer extraordinaire, was used. No. Mr. Bloom, please do something by your attire.
There was one wardrobe malfunction I did not want to see.
It would appear we need to shift our suspicion towards someone other than Orla. Prosecutor Blackwell, please have the blood-stained coin analyzed.
You waste your breath. I guess even Prosecutor Blackwell can't refute the possibility of a human suspect. You did it, boss. If the crime happened beside the pool, there's no way an Orca could have done it. Now, if only we could find the bag the coins were in.
In light of the new discovery, it would appear that the Orca couldn't have done it.
Exactly, Your Honor. If the blood on the coin proves to be that of the victim, we can unequivocally overturn Orla's accusation.
Objection!
overturn the defendant's accusation? I think not. Ah! My hair! My beautiful hair! Yesterday, a new inmate was brought into the prison. He said, the moment you relax is when you're most vulnerable.
And what did this man go in for?
He is merely a sneaky thief who enjoys a spot of fishing now and again. But right down to here would be easier to hook than any fish.
That hawk sure does love the the judge's head.
What's this? That coin from before and some sort of bag?
A bag? I don't think I'm gonna like this.
This is the coin bag the 300 coins were in. I believe you were looking for this.
How did you get that?
I never said we didn't find it at the crime scene. The bag had blood on it, so naturally I had it sent to the crime lab.
And does the blood belong to the victim?
It does indeed, as does the blood on the coin.
I knew it. So the blood on the coin did belong to the victim.
The bag was open and the coins had all spilled out, but the bag alone wasn't proof enough to say that it was used as a murder weapon. However, thanks to the defense and their coin, I'm more than satisfied that it was.
Prosecutor Blackwell, are you conceding that the true culprit committed the murder with that bag of coins?
I should concede that the victim was put into the pool after his death. However, even with the bag, it doesn't change the fact that it was the Orca that killed the victim.
What? How can he still suspect Orla?
You said that true culprit manipulated Orla's behavior, but Orla isn't the kind of Orca that would let someone control her. If anything, Orla used the victim's behavior against him to murder him.
What? But
Are you arguing that the Orca manipulated a human being?
To prove it, I have summoned another witness. Marlon Rhymes. Take the stand.
alright. I'll be back. Alright then. The plot thickens. Marlon Rhymes takes the stand. Marlon Rhymes is a witness? Apparently.
Well, don't just stand there. State your name. I told you I didn't want to be a witness. I thought one witness would be quite enough to prove the defendant's guilt. But apparently right down I wouldn't be satisfied until every stone is turned. Well, son of a... Alright, fine. If I got talk, let's get this over with.
Mr. Rhymes doesn't seem like a willing witness. I wonder what Prosecutor Blackwell is going to have them testify about.
So could you have your name and occupation for the record, witness?
Ahoy! Yo, yo, yo ho ho! People of the law, time to testify. Chilling with my crew at the ship safe. Orcas, penguins, and the dirt and the seascape. Cleaning and feeding, there ain't no end. But damn brady kills tours, I shall transcend. Noob animal keeper from the house of rhymes. I'm the master keeper, Marilyn with the rhymes.
Oh my, I'm afraid I couldn't decide a word you said. Is that some sort of urban speech? Is that flip-flop music young people nowadays like?
So close, Your Honor. So close, and yet so far.
Please proceed with your testimony, witness. Without the flip-flop.
Okay, fine. But I don't want to do this, I tell you. I feel like I'm selling Sasha out.
Sasha? Wait, what is he about to say?
At about 10:10 a.m., I was in the staff room. I heard a loud noise coming from the pool, so I went to the door to look in. I couldn't see the captain or the Orca, but I saw a bunch of coins scattered around. The Orca knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the captain.
So that gives us a little more info about the area around the Orca pool. The defendant made the stuff fall down?
Overturned crates and assorted props were scattered all over the pool room floor. There is no doubt that it was the Orca that caused the mess.
Could she really have done that from within the pool?
As I said, the Orca is the only one that could have performed such a feat. The pool and its room were tidied the night before, including its various odds and ends. But when our rhyming Marlin took a look-see, over 400 pounds of props had fallen. To move it all in one go would challenge even the brawny prisoner in the cell next to mine. What is he? The jail gossip? So, how did 400 pounds of items fall all at once? I'll tell you how. The Orca pulled on the cloth that was underneath them. A weight that would be all but impossible for a human to move. Was child's play to an Orca. During a friendly game of volleyball, the defendant made the crates fall, and the bag of coins that was among the items fell on the victim's head and killed him. The Orca then toyed with the victim's body underwater, which is what Mr. Plume saw.
Objection!
But the witness only said he heard a loud noise. That doesn't automatically make it the sound of Orla making the items fall. Also, why did you only say look in on the pool room anyway, Mr. Rhymes?
That Orca sometimes makes a loud noise to summon her trainer. But I'm still a newbie, so I don't have a security card to get into the pool room yet. So even if she tries to summon somebody, there isn't much I can do about it.
I see. So the witness couldn't enter the crime scene.
Objection!
If Mr. Rhymes couldn't enter the room, there's at least one thing he can't be sure about. His statement that the Orca was playing volleyball is purely speculation.
Silence!
Whether the Orca was actually playing volleyball or not is not the issue. Traces of the Orca's saliva were found in the cloth that was underneath the crates. The important point is that the Orca is the only one that could have moved the items.
Arg, I have to discredit that statement somehow. If I don't, it would mean that Orla was the culprit, even if the victim died beside the pool. Alright, here we go.
At about 10:10 a.m., I was in the staff room.
Hold it!
Are you sure about the time you were in the staff room?
What? Yes, I'm sure. I'm pretty good with time. I've never been late to work once.
If you're sure about the time, then there's something wrong with that statement. I better take another look through the court record.
Alright, please continue with your testimony, Mr. Rhymes.
I heard a loud noise coming from the pool room, so I went to the door to look in.
Oh, oops. Hold on.
Hold it!
Hold it. You heard the noise all the way in the staff room.
That's right. The Orca pool room and the staff room are pretty close to each other. Anyway, I heard the noise, so I went to the door of the pool room. But I don't have a security card, so all I could do was look through the door crack.
What kind of noise did you hear?
Want me to describe it? Oh yeah! Yo, word coming up. That crash, boom, bowing down to relativity. Everything falling down with sweet simplicity. This testimony, yo, it ain't got no fallacies. Things falling and breaking. What's pure insanity?
What was the first one?
Want me to describe it? Oh yes. Yo, word up, courtroom number 4. The crash, boom, bowing down to relativity. Everything falling with sweet simplicity. This testimony, yo, it ain't got no fallacies. Things falling and breaking with pure insanity. Okay. Kinda like that. Okay, but why did it happen?
Well, I didn't really get all of that, but in any case, I gather it was a very loud noise. Very well, please describe what you saw at the scene.
I couldn't see the cat or the Orca, but I saw about the coins cat around.
Hold it!
You couldn't see the victim?
I was just looking through the door crack. I guess all that stuff was blocking my view.
I did notice a bunch of coins scattered all over the plate, though. But at the time, I had no idea the captain was dead.
Killed by gold coins. Ironic, isn't it? Perhaps the Orca wanted to be paid for her labor, paid in coins raining from the skies.
Coins raining from the skies? He makes it sound almost poetic. But the hard truth is that those coins were actually the murder weapon.
We all deserve to be paid for our work, do we not? I shall have a fine meal tonight.
If you find our client guilty, that is. Mr. Rhymes, do you have a theory on how the things got knocked down?
Of course I do. The Orca knows there's a certain spot people stand to play volleyball with her.
Hold it!
She uses this ball and does a spike, right? We had a nice little demonstration of Orla's spike for ourselves just yesterday.
If you stand on the mark on the floor, the Orca spikes the ball at you.
Tonka is good at flying straight at his target as well. And I see plenty of targets right here in this room. Everybody's so busy protecting their head, they forgot about the trial. Including you.
Tell them what the defendant caused to happen.
Well, the Orca knows people stand in a certain spot for volleyball. I think maybe she knocked down the stuff that was piled up there and hit the camp.
Hold it!
Are you saying you think she knocked down the items on purpose?
I don't want to believe it myself, but that Orca's pretty smart. It'd be easy for her to pull a cloth that stuff was on while she was playing volleyball. Orcas are really strong. One good pull and all those things will come crashing down.
I guess maybe an Orca could be strong enough to make that much stuff fall.
I've never seen an Orca play tug-of-war myself, but the fact is, this one did. The traces of the Orca's saliva found in the cloth prove it. How long do you plan to walk tightrope on those shaky theories of yours?
Wait until you see me do acrobatics. Moments like these are what I became a lawyer again for. I don't know why, but Mr. Rhymes is lying. I'm afraid I have to expose that secret he and Pearls were keeping to resolve this. Thanks for spelling it out. I can't have one revelation to myself.
Objection!
You say you were in the staff room, but is that really true?
Of course it's true. Why would I lie about a thing like that?
Mr. Rhymes, have you ever seen this calendar before?
Hey, that's...
I see you recognize it.
Yeah, that's the rifle calendar. It's a big hit at the Sip Sape Aquarium gift shop. Thank you for stopping at Sip Sape.
Mr. Rhymes, please refrain from scattering fish around the witness stand.
Not to worry, Your Boldness. Taka will have them cleaned up in no time.
I guess that bird comes in handy now and then.
Alright, Mr. Wright, we have all seen your cute souvenir. Now, if you wouldn't mind.
No, Your Honor, this isn't my calendar. It was originally the witness's, but it came into possession of a certain young lady.
What?
Mr. Rhymes and this young lady first met each other in the food prep room. After a mishap, their calendars got switched around. They ran into each other at about 10:10 a.m. in the food prep room. So clearly, the witness was not in the staff room. In other words, there's no way he could have heard the noise in the pool room upstairs.
What's this? This is the first I'm hearing about any calendar.
That's because Mr. Rhymes and Pearls were keeping it a secret.
You lied to me! This transgression will not go unpunished!
So, Mr. Rhymes, you didn't hear the noise of the equipment falling after all, did you?
Okay, I admit it. I didn't hear the noise in the Orca pool room myself, but somebody told me about it.
Who told you about it?
The victim.
It was, Unless you tell the truth, Mr. Rhymes, I can't save Orla. And I'm sure you know how sad that would make Miss Buckler. I heard about it from Thassa. What? From Miss Buckler? But that doesn't make sense. What is going on here? Huh. Now it's the trainer's own words that drive the Orca into a corner. How do you like being bitten by your own client, right, Dono? I certainly didn't see this coming. What perfect timing. There was something I wanted to ask Miss Buckler about the Orca. The prosecution calls the trainer, Miss Sasha Buckler, to the stand.
Yes, I suppose it would be a good idea to hear what the Orca's trainer has to say.
I don't know what Sasha is going to say, but I'll just have to meet it head on, whatever it is.
We will take a 20-minute recess while the witness is summoned. To be continued.
July 21st, 10:39 a.m. District Court, Defendant, Lobby number 3. Mr. Wright, are you going to cross-examine Sasha? I guess I'll have to ask her about the noise from the stuff falling down. Mr. Wright. Mr. Rhymes, why did you lie?
I don't want Thassa to have to appear in court. I thought if anybody had to testify, I should be the one to do it for her.
But why would you go to all those lengths?
Did you see the entry for the 20th on that calendar?
The note about meeting the captain at the Orca pool?
Yeah, I found that calendar in the nap room. I think it's probably Thassa's.
What? Then that means... I guess it does look like more of a woman's calendar than a man's.
I didn't want suspicion to fall on Sasha. Mr. Wright, I gotta go back to the aquarium to look after the Orca in Sasha's place. I'll be rooting for you on the other end of that TV phone. Please take care of Sasha.
Okay, we can't let Prosecutor Blackwell get the best of us. Time to refocus. You're right. After all, we're the only ones who can save Orla. July 21st, 11:02 a.m., District Court, Courtroom number 4.
The court will now reconvene. Prosecutor Blackwell, please call the witness to the stand.
Again, you waste your breath.
My name be Sasha, and I be one of Captain Orla's swashbucklers. I come to rescue me bucko from the false charges put on her by dread pirate Nostache.
No stash. I guess no stash refers to Prosecutor Blackwell this time. Well, it can't be the judge. He has a mustache and a full beard.
Now then, Captain Judge, shall we begin the pirate court?
Captain Judge? I rather like that. It makes me feel like a salty old seaman.
And scene. How was that for a self-intro?
The court is not a show. State your full name and occupation.
I'm Sasha Buckler. I work at Shipshape Aquarium. I perform in our Swashbuckler Spectacular Pirate Show alongside Orla as our trainer.
Well, you seem like a completely different person now.
You really think so? Thanks. I was in my pirate show persona just then. Prosecutor Blackwell said I could introduce myself any way I like.
I bet money he didn't think you were going to do it like that.
And what will this witness testify about?
The Orca manipulated the victim to playing volleyball and then knocked the items down. The witness will report about hearing the noise that caused the victim's death.
Now wait just a minute. Sure, Orla uses the ball to break props sometimes. She even spiked the ball at the giant octopus's leg yesterday when I was cleaning.
So Orla was the one who broke that leg, huh?
But she couldn't have knocked that down that huge sack of equipment with her little ball.
I thought you were paying attention to the trial over the telecast, but you apparently know nothing of what we have been discussing. The Orca knocked down the equipment by pulling on the cloth that was underneath it. No one said anything about the Orca knocking it down with a ball.
What? Is that what you're talking about? I came in here to give Prosecutor Nostache a good keel oiling. But I'm the one getting the cat o' nine tails. Ooh, he's as vicious as a tiger shark.
Miss Buckler, just focus on your testimony and you'll be alright. Don't worry, we'll take care of that tiger shark for you.
Thank you, Athena. Okay, I can do this. My testimony will be phenomenal. Phenomenal.
All right, Miss Smuggler, please proceed with your testimony.
I admit I heard Orla summoning me with a loud noise, but the aquarium guest scream I heard over the walkie-talkie was more urgent. I talked to Norma de Plume first and then went to the pool room with the security guard. The equipment was everywhere and the captain was lying in the middle of it all.
Her story doesn't seem to be much different from Marlon Rhymes' testimony.
Or does it? The circumstances are different. The actual order of Orla's actions depend on the order the witness heard the two noises. If she heard the scream first, the prosecution's claims don't stand up.
Objection!
Unfortunately for you, she doesn't remember the order of what she heard.
She doesn't?
I was distracted at the time, so I don't really recall which one I heard first. I was lost in thought until the guard brought me back to myself. Sorry I'm no help.
As long as the order remains unclear, I shall not alter the prosecution's claims. After killing the victim with the bag of coins, the Orca toyed with the body in the water.
I have to turn things around here somehow. Unless I can prove the sound Sasha heard was not the sound of the victim's murder, Blackwell's claim that Orla pulled down the equipment to kill the victim will stand. If I want to save Orla, I have to find a contradiction, no matter how small.
Very well. Your cross-examination, please, Mr. Wright.
Proving that the noise was not that of the victim's death. Noise.
I admit I heard Orla summoning me with a loud noise.
Hold it!
What made you think Orla was summoning you?
Orla knows the sound of her cries doesn't carry far enough, so sometimes she summons people by making a loud noise. Heh, that Orla is smarter than the average whale, I tell ya.
Tonka would not be bested in a battle of wits.
Wait a minute, Widget is the smartest one of all.
Mirror, mirror on the wall, who is the smartest one of all? Widget.
Am I expected to enter truly into this "my kid is better than yours" Appaloosa? And did you heed the summons of this very intelligent Orla immediately?
I couldn't right away, although I was concerned about her, of course. But the aquarium guest scream I heard over the walkie-talkie was more urgent.
Hold it!
You heard Mr. Plume scream.
That's right, I heard her through the walkie-talkie of a guard making his rounds. I can still hear it on my head. It was so loud I thought it was a sea lion.
Mr. Plume... Mr. Plume sort of reminds me of a sea lion, actually. I know, right? Ooh, I should call a sea lion lady and see how she likes it. I guess Athena is still upset about being called Yellow Girl.
What did you do after hearing the visitor scream?
I talked to Norma de Plume first and then went to the pool room with the security guard.
Hold it!
You and the security guard headed to the Orca pool room.
Aye, apparently that obnoxious writer lady said she didn't trust me by myself. That's why after talking to her, the guard and I went to the pool room together. Why be the wench so suspicious? Arr! I demand a starfish duel. That's what I felt like saying to her anyway.
I'm afraid I don't get it.
That was a line from the show when Orla and Sasha quarrel with each other. Didn't you do your swashbuckler spectacular homework, Your Honor?
Why am I getting scolded here, Mr. Wright?
And why am I getting scolded here, Your Honor? Miss Buckler, please tell me what happened after you headed to the pool room.
Alright, when the guard and I got there, we saw that the equipment was everywhere, and the captain was lying in the middle of it all.
Hold it!
What do you recall about the scene exactly?
I don't remember much, to be honest. I was in total shock from seeing the captain like that. If you ask me something specific, I might be able to remember, though.
Specific questions, huh? Okay, let's see. What should I ask her about? Could you tell me more about the things that were scattered around?
They were equipment and props for the new show.
The new show?
Aye, we were supposed to debut a brand new swashbuckler spectacular yesterday. We already defeated the giant octopus and no stash after all. We were gonna have a new nemesis, Red Stash. He's on the flyer.
Oh, that's the flyer Rifle was distributing. Who will obtain the gold coins hidden in the skull rock? Ooh, I wish it could be me.
Leave it to you, Athena, to know all about it. Orla's even got some new tricks for the new show.
Hey, I knew about it. So all the stuff that fell down was for the new show, is that it?
That's right. A bunch of props and crates and other equipment sucked up.
Your Honor, for the record, I'd like that information added to the witness's testimony.
Very well, Miss Buckler, please append what you just said to your testimony.
Sure thing. The props for the new show were everywhere, and the captain was in the middle of it all.
Hold it!
These props for the new show, what kind of things were there?
A blow-up dolphin and anchor, Red Stash's costume, and the bags of coins, stuff like that. The captain was wearing his usual costume, and the new props were all there.
Wait a minute. Something about that doesn't seem right. Is there a problem with Sasha's testimony? I think so. But can we prove it? I mean, the picture is not clear. But okay. Sure. Let's see where this goes first. Let's see if this actually leads us somewhere. And then we'll worry about, trifling things like evidence and such. You say the captain was wearing his usual costume, but is that completely accurate? Oh. He was wearing the Red Stash costume? Oh! Hold on, his red scarf is gone. That's weird. Featuring the dashing Red Stash with the fluttering red scarf. Yeah. It's part of his new costume, but is that going to be the smoking gun? Let's see.
Come on, Phoenix. What are you nitpicking my testimony for?
If we look at the body, we see that there's a discrepancy between that and your statement. You stated that the victim was wearing his usual costume, but you'll notice that the victim was wearing a red scarf around his neck. I imagine this red scarf is part of his costume for the new pirate show?
Oh, you're right. It's written right here on the flyer for the new show. Featuring the dashing Red Stash with a fluttering red scarf.
Although I have to say, it just looks like a red scarf was added to his old costume.
Yeah, well, the captain was never one to spend much money on costumes. But, the captain wasn't wearing that red scarf.
But in this photo, I believe I see a red scarf.
Aye, but it's not wrapped around his neck. It's just draped on top of his neck. The red scarf is packed away with the rest of the new show's equipment. Must have fallen on top of the cotton when the equipment fell down.
Oh, I see.
Looks like your discrepancy wasn't really a discrepancy after all.
So the scarf doesn't have anything to do with the case. But there's something about the timing of the stuff falling that bothers me. Hold on. The timing of the stuff falling. The timing. Maybe my theory has been all wrong from the beginning. Maybe the bag of coins isn't the murder weapon. It was the scarf.
And so your last cross-examination ends in failure as well. You should know that such a feeble slash will never hurt me. As I said, the Orca made the equipment fall and then toyed with the body in the water.
Objection!
I'm sorry, Prosecutor Blackwell, but based on the circumstances at the scene, the defendant couldn't have dragged the body into the water after the equipment fell.
Huh? And why, pray tell, is that?
Oh, I'll tell you, alright. If my theory has been all wrong, then I'll just have to fix it.
Yes, Mr. Wright, please do tell the court. What indicates that the body was not dragged into the water after the items fell?
Dun dun. Dun dun dun. Dum dum. Dum dum. I don't know. I'm thinking the scarf because they keep... It seems to be what we should be looking at. Okay, I'll just try to stick with my theory that the scarf was here one moment and then it wasn't. But wouldn't that prove that the body was dragged? Okay, sure, let's try the scarf.
Take that!
This red scarf fell at the same time as the bag of coins. But if the body was dragged into the pool after the bag of coins fell, then the red scarf wouldn't still be on top of the body.
What?
Wait, what? If the body was dragged into the pool after the bag of coins fell... Oh, like he's talking like simultaneously? I guess. In other words, the victim was already dead when the equipment came crashing down. Therefore, the bag of coins that fell with the red scarf was not the murder weapon.
Silence!
But it was the defense who claimed the bag of coins was the murder weapon to begin with.
Well, yes, that's true.
Do you intend to abandon your original argument?
After hearing the testimony, I realized my theory about the murder weapon was wrong. Please recall the facts we have learned so far. It's a fact that what Orla bit was the victim's dead body.
After all, when we saw the victim on the security footage, he was already dead.
But then, Orla carried the victim's body to the side of the pool, and knocked down the equipment for the new pirate show that was piled up there. Maybe Orla was trying to alert the humans to the victim's condition. If Orla knocked the items down on the victim after he was already dead, then it means the defendant didn't kill the victim with those items.
But that's preposterous!
Even still, your argument is lacking. If neither the Orca's headbutting nor the bag of coins were the matter of death, then how do you propose the victim was killed?
A very good point. If the defense is now abandoning its original theory, then we would need a new theory as to what the murder weapon was.
Alright. I doubt I have no clue would go over well. Alright, let's go over what we still need to find out about the victim's body. What we don't know is how he died and why his body was at the bottom of the pool. I wonder if there's something that would explain both of those things at once. How did the victim's body sink to the bottom of the pool? On a diagram, it's easy enough to move the body to the bottom of the pool, but in real life, the water would just cause the body to float. Right. Hold on. Water? Okay, then what if we flip that around? What if there was no water? Then the body would go right down in an instant. So could the real manner of death be... Thanks for the great hint, Athena. What? I helped you and I didn't even know it? Your Honor, I think we know the real manner of the victim's death.
I think won't do, Mr. Wright. I expect a clear answer. Now then, what was the real matter of Jack Shipley's death?
What's the manner of death that moved the victim to the bottom of the pool in an instant? He drowned... Alright. Let's do one joke answer. Yeah, we can spare some penalties. We believe the victim drowned, Your Honor.
Silence.
Autopsy report.
Ah, of course. Let's see. Cause of death was instant death from a brain contusion. Your answer is completely wrong, Mr. Wright.
You're right, Your Honor. Please let me try that again. What's the manner of death that moved the victim to the bottom of the pool in an instant? Okay, that wasn't so funny. Please take a look at this diagram of the Orca pool. If there was no water in this pool, then it would be very easy to move the victim's body to the bottom of the pool. Pew.
He would drop straight down. Oh my! Could that be the true matter of death?
The Orca pool is about 65 feet deep. If the victim were to go from the top of the pool to the bottom when there was no water, then he would, without question, have fallen to his death.
Death from a fall?
That's your answer?
It all makes perfect sense. If he fell, that would explain the signs of blunt force trauma all over the body too. The culprit pushed the victim into the pool when there was no water in it. After doing something to keep the body from floating up, they filled the pool with water. The pool water washed away any signs of blood, so no one would realize that he fell.
Surprisingly, that actually makes sense. Order! Order in the court! I am just as surprised as you are, but I must have order. If falling was a matter of death, then does that mean the defendant's behavior was the result of being manipulated by the true culprit, as the defense claimed?
Yes, it would have to be. All that needs to be explained now is how the real culprit commanded Orla. Miss Buckler, is there a way to instruct Orla to bite someone?
What? What kind of trick would that be? Of course not.
Then could you tell us about the tricks Orla does know?
Well, there's jumping, dancing, and playing volleyball. And she can spin, do the rock and roll trick, and sing the swashbuckler spectacular song.
Those sound like pretty nice tricks, but I doubt they're related to this case.
She's also practicing 2 new top secret tricks. There's the human rocket, where she shoots somebody up into the air. And then there's the lifesaver trick, where she brings a drowning person to the surface.
Hey, one of these top secret tricks might have something to do with the case. Now, which one of these tricks sounds relevant to the case? Sure, why not? Let's do another jokey answer. The human rocket trick shoots a person up into the air. That means Orla shot the victim's body, which had sunk to the bottom, up to the surface.
Are you implying that's how the victim's body got to the surface? In that case, when did the bite marks get onto the victim's clothes?
Huh? Oops, I forgot about those.
I can't accept your theory unless it explains all of the circumstances of this case.
Orla has 2 top secret tricks. The human rocket trick, where she shoots somebody up in the air, and the lifesaver trick, where she brings a drowning person to the surface. Now, which of these... Why do I still get a choice? Which of these 2 tricks sounds relevant to the case? So, in the lifesaver trick, Orla brings a drowning person to the surface, correct?
You got it! Orla's still learning how to hold someone gently in her mouth. So she sometimes bites into their clothes, but she's never hurt a person's skin.
She brings a drowning person to the surface. Then, that must be it.
And then the killer whale swam up toward the surface with the victim in its mouth. That matches up perfectly with what Mr. Bloom said in her testimony.
The real culprit must have used the lifesaver trick command to manipulate Orla.
I still find this very hard to believe.
Then let's see it for ourselves. Let's have Orla show us her trick using a practice dummy. As you wish.
The prosecution doesn't appear to have any objection. Miss Smuggler, please proceed.
Alright, sure. I'll show you Orla's phenomenal trick. Hey Merlin, are you ready over there?
Okay, let me just go get the practice dummy. There, it's in the pool. Ready and standing by, Sasa.
Here it goes. Orla's secret new trick, the lifesaver.
The clothes got torn up a little, but the dummy doesn't have any new marks on it.
And there you have it. Orla's secret note trick.
Wow, that Orca is really something. A cute thing like that wouldn't hurt anybody. Sounds like the gallery loved Orla's performance. That was great. That awesome trick captured everybody's heart.
Ho ho ho! Wonderful! I wish I could see more.
Looks like we silenced Prosecutor Blackwell. Thank you, Orla and Miss Buckler. And thank you too, Mr. Rhymes. And so now you can clearly see how Orla was manipulated. The bottom of the Orca pool needs to be examined immediately. We might still find some evidence of the victim falling to his death.
Prosecutor Blackwell, please have that taken care of at once. Excuse me, Prosecutor Blackwell, but I'm requesting further investigation.
Tisk, Prosecutor Blackwell. You have to answer the nice judge politely. Oh, that's right. I almost forgot. The thing you asked for just came in. And you couldn't be bothered to think of a less violent way to deliver it?
What did Prosecutor Blackwell ask for?
I've been waiting for this.
Oh, and what is that?
An updated autopsy report.
What? Why did it have to come now?
During the recess, I ordered the body to be re-examined. Something started nagging at me during the course of the trial, you see. Here.
I take it you'd like me to read it? Very well. Cause of death, thought to be from 60-foot fall.
Well, that's very precise and convenient.
But this is decisive evidence that substantiates Mr. Wright's theory.
What? It's something good for a change?
If the manner of death was falling into an empty pool, the Orca can't be responsible. It seems Orla's complete innocence has been proven.
I suppose I can't deny that.
This is fantastic! You did it, Mr. Wright. Prosecutor Blackwell isn't even trying to refute it. Orla is saved. Yeah. Is it really safe to celebrate?
It would appear more investigation into this case is necessary. But first, allow me to render my verdict. The court finds the defendant, Orla Shipley, not guilty.
You did it! Thank you so much, Phoenix. Thank you, Athena. Erlen, Merlin, thank you too.
Congrats, Sasa. Time to celebrate. Go on, eat up. hee hee. Glad to see everybody so happy, and I'm absolutely thrilled about the verdict.
Thank you, right, Dano.
Huh? For what?
The drained pool. Thanks to you, the truth is finally clear. Fulbright, arrest this woman.
Certainly, right away, Prosecutor Blackwell. Sasha Buckler, you are hereby under arrest for the murder of Jack Shipley.
What? What are you talking about? What reason could you possibly have?
Come now, you must have had some idea in the back of your dull little mind. The true culprit manipulated the Orca in order to have false charges brought upon her. And who is the only one with the ability to accomplish that? It can only be the Orca's trainer.
But I'm sure there's some other explanation.
Silence.
I don't need any of your baseless counter-arguments. Have you forgotten? In order to enter the Orca pool room, a security guard is necessary. A security card that only the victim and Sasha Buckler possessed. Miss Buckler is the only one who could have caused the victim to fall to his death.
What?
No, I don't believe it. Miss Buckler was so upset by Mr. Shipley's death, she couldn't have done it.
Fulbright.
We asked the security company yesterday to check their security card logs. The report just came in during the recess. The night before the incident, Sasha Buckler used her card to enter the Orca pool room. After that, not a single person entered the pool room. Not until the incident was discovered when Miss Buckler and the guard ran in.
Objection!
But no one would commit murder where their card usage was being recorded.
Apparently, the aquarium employees don't know that their card usage is tracked. What's more, Miss Buckler was seen arguing with the victim before the incident. So, Miss Strader, what were you arguing about?
It was a private matter. But it wasn't anything I would kill him over. That's ridiculous.
Miss Buckler is the only one who entered the room, and she knows how to command Orla. Besides, I thought her suspicious from the very beginning.
You suspected Miss Buckler from the start.
The Orca did tricks because someone commanded her to do so. Possibly someone with a heart so black as to make her own partner the murder weapon. The possibility the Orca killed the victim. The possibility a human manipulated the Orca. I looked into both.
So he suspected both Sasha and Orla all along.
My gratitude to you. After all, you were the one who drew out that information about the lifesaver trick. The Orca you saved was an unwitting victim. A victim made to look like the weapon that killed Jack Shipley. No!
Alright, come along then. Let's have a good long talk.
Wait, I didn't kill the captain, and I would never try to frame Orla. Why would I hurt the ones I love like that?
Sasha.
Felix, Athena, you gotta believe me.
Sasha didn't kill him. I believe that with all my heart. There's got to be something we can do. I feel the same way. Could I have done something differently? But never in my wildest dreams did I imagine things turning out like this.
It would appear that this case has taken on an entirely new aspect. But this trial is only concerned with a ruling on the defendant, Orla Shipley. So I'm afraid this concludes today's trial. Court is adjourned. Not my problem anymore. To be continued, I guess.